guys, so we now have all of our plants buried in the ground. Our garden is looking nice and full. You'll notice here I have the square foots laid out. I used some of the free cordage you get at Home Depot, and I measured each foot and kind of got them separated that way. It's a temporary thing, but I think it helps out a lot to visualize, see where all of your plants are, and it keeps it in a grid system. So later on down the road you can tell what's what, and there's no issues with that. So so we have both gardens all full. I had some extra soil left over, so I ended up filling up a few other tins, and you can see over here. Alright, so there's garden number 2. Alright, real quick, I want to talk about what's in the garden. So first, right here, I have a row of tomatoes, starting with, let's see here. This one's a beefsteak. I have 2 big boys, and then I have one hybrid, I forget what this one's, Container's Choice. So in here, I have my beans. So we have our string beans, 4 of those guys, equally spread out. Next, I have 3 spots of basil, and I've heard that basil and tomatoes equally help each other out when growing. So I kind of kept those close by. Next over here, we have, let's see here, this is a jalapeno. So this is my mammoth jalapeno. And then you'll see in the corner too, there was one extra little sprout that came with this one. So I planted that one there. I had an extra spot, so I threw some extra lettuce. I think that's romaine lettuce. Next, we have a green bell pepper, red bell pepper. All the way on the back line, I have 2 habanero plants. Kept those as far away from all of these guys as possible. And the next one is a mucho nacho jalapeno. That sounds like it's going to be pretty good. So let's go over to the second box and I'll tell you what I have in there. Alright guys, so we're at box number 2. We're going to start right here. So I have 2 squares of iceberg head lettuce. The next one is a romaine lettuce. And the last one is spinach, just 4 of the spinach guys in there. The next row I have dedicated all to strawberries. So I really like strawberries and I really hope they grow. So that's all strawberries there. The next row I have 2 squares of cilantro, and the remaining all squares are onions. And so now when you plant onions, it's important that you have a little bit of spacing in between, because you have to understand that underneath the soil is where everything's going on, and so that's where you have your bulbs growing. So they recommend 1 to 4 inches, somewhere in there, so I space them about 3.5 inches each for most of them. So I have sweet red onions over on the left side, and then over here I have Georgia sweet onions, I believe. So next I'm going to show you the additional areas where I stored the remaining plants and soil. Alright guys, so I ended up having some extra plants. I was at Home Depot and I kept seeing different veggies and plants that I really wanted. So we'll start at the top, and this is all the extra soil that I ended up taking out of the beds, because when you plant, I mean, there's obviously soil that's got to go somewhere. I ended up with a lot, so it kind of worked out really well. So on the left side here, we have Silver Queen corn. I don't know if that's going to be enough room for those guys, probably not. But I thought I'd just try it out and see. Never know what happens. All of this is an experiment to me. So in the middle we have sweet potatoes. On the right we have spearmint. I've been told a spearmint likes to travel and go all sorts of places. So I didn't really want it to take over both the beds. So I kind of put them in its own thing, because I'm not going to eat a lot of spearmint and I don't really need a lot everywhere. So next on the right here we have sweet peas. And then down here we have our flat Italian parsley, and then we have our let's see here, rosemary. So, and I have a few other plants I'm still gonna plant in here. I haven't exactly figured out which ones I want yet. I bought a few other ones, and I may plant some closer to the deck. We'll see. So so this is where we're at right now with our plants. Next I'm gonna show you what I've decided to do for my irrigation. As you can see, I've started to work on it here. So that's going to be in the next video, so stay tuned. And thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For more information, go to CoyoteMountainoutdoors.com.